Anyway.
There we go.
Anyway, there guys, and welcome to GRL Season 3. This is GP1.1 at round 16 here at the Sochi Autodrome in Russia. This is its fill 17 and I'm alongside with not Ryan this time, but with Chill.
Howdy.
And well, we're hoping for a very good short qualifying performance. As I do say myself, Chill. But do you think there could be some slight differences between these 9 drivers?
We could see, you know, the usual culprits at the top, you know, Stewie, P1 Pro, and you know, the usual ones shooting at the top. But you never know that there could be a few differences you may see. You know, the odd, you know, bright spot come out of nowhere and, you know, surprise us all.
Yeah.
We just don't know just yet. You know, still
Don't know what to expect.
You know, we still got the full quality session to go through. But hopefully it can be entertaining quality.
Yep, we do hope for it to be very, very entertaining. So we are going to be on board with Optical G, who missed Singapore. Well, he is now back here at Sochi, and he's going to be starting on his first flying lap.
Just got Woodward report. Cloudy quality, but dry. Sunny race with a bit of cloud.
Ooh.
For the start of this weekend's racing with 1.1 dry race at Russia. Bet they're going to be really happy about that.
Oh, they can have a sigh of relief.
Yep.
Well, I hope so. See on Optical G, going on the double left-hander, and then going to the right-hander onto the DRS straight.
I was on board with Trick when he started his flying lap and he was really squarely coming out the last corner. Really did not look comfortable at all.
Would that be like a sign of distraught, maybe?
Maybe. He lit up the rears a bit too much and nearly piled into the pit wall. Not looking great for this lap.
So as Optical G goes up onto the last 2 corners and coming off onto the second on the last corner with a 1:31.1. Very good benchmark to start off with a short qualifying. Oh, it looks like Tricks overcooked it. The start of the 3rd sector. He does a 1:33.1. 2 seconds.
Yeah, backed off a little bit in that 1st sector.
We're going to go on to Aaron Dazzler.
First corner was a lot better though.
So we go on to Aaron Dazzler, currently the leader of the Drivers' Championship. With his teammate. Only 17 points.
And looks like Aaron Dallas. Oh. I don't think he got held up by Optical there, but we got a toe down that back straight from him.
That is correct. Comes onto the last 2 corners. Very, very neat on the penultimate corner. Then onto the last corner. Again, very neat. 1:30.4. That's a very good lap from
on the high
the Force India driver.
A lot of drivers are on the hypers.
Also, there goes lovely session, so feel free to rewind back. We're now on to Brandon. Coming up to turn 2. Very, very neat. Now on to the long turn 3. And braking heavily onto turn 4. Tricks has improved with a 131.6. Brandon now goes brake hard for the start of the third sector. To go perfectly, and then again.
Yeah, sent me invite.
Very much. Brandon now goes on to the last corner. It was a 134.1. That was invalid.
Not good.
And yeah, that could be a benchmark lap.
Oh, the cloud has come right over now.
And it looks like Optical G is out again. There we go, he's drawing back. So his Optical G is now on his out lap. It does look like he is running
Brandon's about to cross the line. Oh, 34.2.
34.2. Does look like that Optical G is suffering a little bit of understeer in some of the corners. As he now approaches onto the last 3 corners. To start on his flying lap. Meanwhile, Aaron Dazzler is out on his out lap as well. And Stewie is now on his out lap. So, Optical G. Oh, it looks like Tricks. As tired from the race, or from the qualifying session. Well, Optical G coming up onto turn 5. It's beautifully done. A little bit of opposite lock.
Optical G came a bit too quickly. It's
So it's a bit too soon. And to vent his frustration, he completely cuts that corner. We'll have a look on to Stewie. Stewie takes the tighter line of turn 3. Oh, and Stewie loses the back end on the exit there. There's 6 minutes and 25 seconds left on the short qualifying. Aaron Dazzler still has the lead with a 1:30.457. Optical GP in 7/10. Meanwhile, Stu is now approaching the technical part. Onto the last 4 corners. Makes it very neat. Has it only done a 1:31.3?
Losing that back end. That one corner.
Cost him a lot of time.
Good, good few attempts there.
So we are now on to Yayo Sonogo. All goes super wide and goes onto the AstroTurf a little bit. Mid corner.
I'm on board with Squiddy, who's just in front of Sonogo.
Oh, Sonogo goes super deep.
Squiddy gets
Fourth to
second,
last corner.
doing a 1:30.0.
Very good lap from Squiddy. Meanwhile, Sonogo's done a 1:31.238.
I just noticed Squiddy doing his time on Ultras.
Maybe he is actually thinking about his strategy more long term rather than short term.
Which is a lot better from Squiddy. Seems starting to mature with his strategies now.
Yeah, he's now thinking properly rather than thinking that going on a faster tyre will benefit him. Just have to take to the account that most of the tracks does not favour the faster tyre.
No.
So, there's Brandon. And Sonogo goes straight into the pits. So, which means Brandon will be having a clean track ahead. Now starts his flying lap.
Optical G's just starting another flying lap now.
It's also the same with Stewie as well. He's left the session again, so invite him back again. Brandon now approaches the last 4 corners. Makes nice and early. Try and keep his car more to the middle of the chicane, which does seem to have favoured him a little bit. Now onto the penultimate corner. Very neat. Just might go a little bit wide, and then on the last corner, he improves, but he does not move up a place. As Optical G goes fastest with a 1:30.424.
There's a really quick time from Optical G.
So with 50 seconds left on the clock. We do have Sonogo in 4th, but he isn't in the session.
And Dazzler's on his flying left. Is he
It looks like P1 Brown hasn't set it a lap.
He hasn't.
Which is a little bit surprising.
And Aaron
Dazzler goes fastest with a 1:29.9. So there we go, we do have the short qualifying fin. It's now been completed. And Brandon will be starting in P4 with a 1:31.1.
Jimmy's got left in the tank now. Is in the last sector. Second to last corner.
Stewart does a 1:30.9.
He goes third. The only one that's going down on the normal screen, you know, at the top, is P1 Brown.
Yeah. Brown is currently 3rd on the championship.
But I did say though, there's always going to be that one person who just come out of nowhere. And Optimal G's first race back, it's put it on the front row of the grid. That is a
Very,
great
very good, strong
result for
effort.
him.
Very good result from Optical G. So there we have it for the grid. We have Aaron Dazzler and Optical G to start off with the front row, a Force Engine McLaren. Then Stewie is going to be starting in 3rd with a 1:30.9. Just got into the 1:30s. Squiddy with a 1:31.023 is a tenth exactly ahead of Brandon with a 1:31.1. Whereas Harry Ham and Brown have not set it a time at all. So then, Harry Ham and Brown are both going to be starting on the hypers. So there's 4 of each. 4 hypers, 4 ultras.
Yep. I think Ham and Brown now will have that little bit more advantage over Aaron Dazzler.
So their hypers are fresh.
Yeah, they're brand new hypers.
Yeah.
If they, you know,
So who will take the
stretch their tyre wear. Ooh. It would be Would be.
Gonna be a bit tough.
Yeah.
I think I would say Dazzler, Stewie, and Optical G. I think for my top three.
I'm not really sure.
Because let's not forget that this track, it's quite tame on track abrasion.
Yeah. The tyre wear around this track isn't too bad.
No. But it's not as good as... what track that has got better tyre life? I think it's...
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I think it's Canada. Because Canada's a fast circuit like Russia, but it's much shorter. And they're on the hypers, ultras, and I think they're also rather on supers rather than the softs.
Yeah.
So it
Might
be, it's either Canada, it's either Canada or Austria.
Yeah, I'm not really sure on that one.
No.
I can't remember now.
Well, we do know that one of the two tracks that has the worst track abrasion is Bahrain in Spain. Easily.
Bahrain, yeah. Not the greatest tyre wear. Spain can be a bit hit and miss. It all depends on how gentle you are with your inputs. But yeah, them two are a bit of a hit and miss.
Looks like the rest of the grid are ready.
Yep. But to go back to my top three. I'm really not sure. Really not.
I think it's one of these tracks that when something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen very rare.
Yeah. And I know this track from previous experience, it's not always been the kindest to squidding.
No.
So,
All them stories I've heard from Squiddy's career in Russia, it's always something bad.
And both of those times have included me into that. But I know last season he didn't do too well. Actually, no, he did actually pretty good around here last season. Yes, hopefully he can keep that up. He's already in a decent position, starting fourth.
I think I would say that the person to watch could be... I think it could be Harry Ham. I think.
Well, we know Brown will be just going straight through the field.
Yes.
We already know that. But how quickly he'll get through that field, though, we don't quite know.
You do not know.
Especially this track, there's a few corners that you can get some really good overtakes on, but there's others that shouldn't really be overtaking.
But
But
despite the corners, despite there's some corners that has very good overtaking opportunities, there are also very good opportunities of overcooking them.
yeah, turn 1 is the main example.
Yeah. Anyway, here we go for 5 red lights here at the Sochi Autodrome for round 16. And it's lights out and away we go. And it does appear that Optical G is actually had a bit of an okay start. Meanwhile, Stu has actually got off to a bit of a blinding start, trying to maintain the toe off of Aaron Dazzler. Meanwhile, Optical G is going too wide with Aaron Dazzler, approaching into the actual corner of turn 3.
Oh,
Squiddy's
no.
spun it.
No!
Squiddy got
Commentator's
touched.
cursed already. This is a great race for P1. Already Optical G's jumped Aaron Dazzler.
Yeah, Optical G has jumped Aaron Dazzler. It's actually trying to get quicker and quicker. And this seems to be paying off a little bit. Meanwhile, Stewie is actually losing some ground a little bit.
Yeah. It's already 1.2 to Aaron Dazzler.
Meanwhile, Harry Ham is currently going too wide off of Brandon.
Oh!
Almost a bit of a commotion.
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened there, but it looks like Harry Ham is lagging a little bit. Well, not a little bit, I mean a lot.
Yeah, he's lagging a fair bit.
Meanwhile, P1R Brown has actually jumped 3 places and now behind the Tricks. Stewie starts off with the first lap of lap 1 with 1:38.5. Meanwhile, P1R Brown is going to be utilising the overtake mode onto Tricks, going onto the left side of the Scuderia Ferrari. So he's hoping to try and go round the outside, but it looks like he's backed up a little bit. Meanwhile, Aaron Dazzler is still within touching range of Optical G.
A bit Brown's loving his water action with Tricks. And he's got, oh no! Tricks lost
Tricks
the
has
rear-end.
lost the back end. Which does mean that P1R Brown now jumps up to 5th. Meanwhile, Aaron Dazzler is still trying to find the distance and find the gap, and reduce the gap of Optical G. Meanwhile, Stewie is actually drops the gap even more.
I think Stewie's tyres are...
Oh, meanwhile, Aaron Dazzler's actually gone for a switch black. He's got the inside line. And Optical G is still on the outside. And now it's compromised Optical G on
And
the
Brandon's
last
right
corner.
behind them as well.
But now Brandon is going to be entering the fray. The DRS is now officially enabled. Optical G gets a little bit of a tail wiggle on the exit of turn 2. Meanwhile, Brandon's actually thinking of... Oh, I think Optical G is very lucky to keep that alive.
Those tyres must be burning on that rear. No, it's lost half of
That
his
has also
front
damaged
wing.
his front wing.
Yeah. Oh, not a great race so far.
Right then, Stewie. He's half a second. Now, it does look like
Yeah.
he's gaining a little bit. And it looks like Brandon's got overtook off of P1R Brown and has jumped up 6 places. Despite P1R Brown is on the hypers and they're on the fresh set. means they can also go almost the same distance as the Ultras. I think the Ultras edges it a little bit. P1 Brand sets the fastest lap on the 1:34.9. Optical G is now heads into the pits.
Squid is using those softs now. Try and push as much as he can. And Optical G going on to the softs as well.
It does mean that Optical G will be hopefully pushing them softs to the end of the race.
Yep.
While P1 Brand is now within such a distance of Stewie now.
Comfortably in front of Squid.
Stewie gets a little bit of understeer on the exit of the double left. Stewie with a big lock up. And again. But it does look like that the Hypersofts are now starting to wear down a little bit for Aaron Dazzler. Meanwhile, P1 Brands is actually still fresh, as Stewie is going to be going for the move. Goes onto the right side, which means he'll have the inside line.
Oh, Aaron does that.
But it looks like Aaron Dazzler will have the inside line onto turn 3. But now Stewie's on the inside of turn 4. As P1 Brown now closes the gap.
Just like real touchdown. I think Brandon just hoping for anything to happen.
Between these top 3 drivers, Harry Ham gets the first 3-second time penalty of GP1.1 here at Sochi. So, Stewie's going to try and go for attempt number 2. He's going to be going on to the right side of Aaron Dazzler. We're going to be going down the inside of Aaron Dazzler on the start of the 3rd sector. He's tried his hardest to go for a switchback. He got the acceleration. It looks like Aaron Dazzler has defended super well off of Stewie. Very good defensive moves from Aaron Dazzler there.
Now Brown's going to get the double toe. Can he actually do anything with it?
Aaron Dazzler now goes defensive.
No. Not even Stewie could do anything with that toe.
Oh, but it looks like Stewie's going to be going onto the inside of Aaron Dazzler on the left. Aaron Dazzler defends again.
I think Aaron Dazzler locked up a little bit going to that corner. Oh, he's done it again. That front right is not going to be looking healthy at all.
No, it's not.
And Brandon just can't seem to catch up that little bit.
Catch up. So there's a yellow flag, and it looks like Harry Ham.
He's lost his front wing.
Spun it and lost his front wing. Well, Squiddy has overtook Optical G.
I know.
An optical
No.
G!
He must have lost a bit of his front wing. I think that's why he really got it. And he just went. Oh no.
Oh, it looks like Stewie's going to be going onto the inside. And P1 Brown's going to try and go on the inside as well. But Stewie defends both of them off of both sides and now takes the lead.
I think Brown forced
Aaron
to try
Dazzler
and do it.
is now struggling now.
I think his tyres are just absolutely dying.
His tyres
now.
are now giving way now. Meanwhile, P1 Browns seems to be holding on its own. Squiddy now jumps up to P6. So now Harry Ham's now dropped to P7. So we're now on to lap 7 of 27. P1 Brown has now closed the gap off of Stewie. So he's still finding the right tyre deg off of Renault's Hypers. And it seems to be paying off. But it looks like Stewie's got the traction on the end of that last corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Aaron Dazzler's tyres are just falling away now.
Meanwhile, P1 Brown is still within half a second of Stewie. Goes a little bit wide. And Dazzler's definitely slowed down. Meanwhile, P1 Brown slight lock up from Stewie there.
Yeah, there's quite a big lock up on his front left. Oh, bit of a snap there as well.
And it looks like P1 Brown.
Yeah, I
He's going
think
to be utilising the ERS and DRS. He's going to make it look easy. And approaches onto the corner and a huge slight lock up from P1 Brown's point of view. They now go too wide on turn 3. But P1 Brown has got the inside line. Meanwhile, Stewie's got the inside line on turn 4. P1 Brown defends very well.
And Aaron's just in the distance with his teammates 5 seconds behind. I think Brown now will be pushing a bit to try and increase that gap.
Squiddy gets a 3-second time penalty.
I think
Brown has now made up 8 places from P9 to P1
well, we knew that was going to
over 9
happen.
laps. So Aaron Dazzler has now pulled the trigger, has now gone into the pits. Which does mean that Brandon now takes P3. And Aaron Dazzler is now on the Ultras.
Must be going for a 2-stop then.
Possibly. And Stewie now gets a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, Stewie, what are you doing? And your Brown's just now fully locked there.
Can still show that these hypersofts are not degrading as quickly as they might think. Stewie, well, it looks like Stewie straightened his steering wheel at mid-par of the chicane a little bit. So as P1R Brown now starts on lap 11. He is currently your leader, with Stewie being 1.6 seconds behind him. Brandon in 3rd, Trix 4th, Dazzler 5th, Squiddy 6th, and Harry Ham 7th. The only retirement is Optical G.
And Dazzler's now
Gaining on Trix.
He's 5 seconds behind P1R Brown. Hopefully, I think he's going to be gaining that time a lot quicker.
And P1R Brown now goes into the pits at the end of lap 11. Harry Ham gets another 3-second time penalty. So now Aaron Dazzler is now right behind Trix's gearbox and gets the fastest lap with a 1:34.2.
Oh,
and also jumps P1R Brown.
A great pushing from Aaron Dazzler there.
Very, very good push from Aaron Dazzler there. This Trix went quite defensive off of P1R Brown.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
like
defensive or coming off the racing line to allow Brown to get past. I'm not quite sure on that one. On Aaron Dazzler gets a penalty.
Dazzler gets a 3-second time penalty now. P1R Brown now overtakes Trix onto the DRS straight.
Yeah, I think Trix let him past.
Trix was planning on going for a move.
I think he just missed his braking out of that one.
Yeah, it did lock up a lot.
Yeah. I think that kind of helped Aaron Dazzler out a bit. Brown being stuck behind Trix for half a lap.
Getting some breathing room.
Now Brown's in that clean air. He's going to be hunting down Aaron to try and close the gap as much as he can to Stewie, which already it's 20.7 seconds. Brown is to Stewie.
And what Brown needs to do is to knock off that gap between him and Stewie. As Harry Ham goes fastest with a 1:33.6. And as we're saying, Brown needs to try and knock off 4.5 tenths per lap in order to gain off of Stewie. But Stewie will be on the faster compound. And same with Brandon.
Yeah, Brown's now 1.5 seconds behind Aaron. Aaron's only 2.4 behind his teammate. Is there going to be some team orders here?
Be a possibility.
Allow Aaron past and then try and hold up Brown as much as you can. Ooh. It's really
Does look like
close now.
P1 Brown is now kicking it at high gear.
Yep.
Yep,
there it is. Brandon's allowed Aaron past. It's now going to be how long can Brandon hold up Brown?
Be an interesting question. And Stewie has now pulled the trigger and gone into the pits. Meanwhile, Brandon is actually staying out.
I think Brown's going to get him down straight.
Well, it does look like it seems to have paid off. A little bit. As Brown now goes too wide. Gets the inside line. Makes it stick. So now the Stewie is on the faster compound. So that does mean that 8.7 second gap will plummet.
And the gap between Brown and Dazzler is dropping as well now.
Zareham gets another 3-second time penalty.
As in the first couple of corners.
Thing is though is that Aaron Dazzler is going to have a lot of pressure on him now because P1 Brown has closed the gap again.
Yep.
Meanwhile Stewie has actually found 3 seconds off of Brandon.
And Brown's on, Aaron Dazzler's on 2 laps older tyres to Brown.
Now that Brandon has gone into the pits,
After
he's going to be
15
on
laps 15 laps
The
he's doing in
Hypers.
that race.
Tricks gets a 3-second time penalty. P1 O'Brien had to straighten his car up a little bit to avoid getting a time penalty. So here we go, P1 O'Brien is going to be going onto the left side off of Aaron Dazzler.
Ooh.
Oh, there was contact! Oh, good save! Good save from P1 O'Brien.
Not great though.
Yeah, it isn't that good. So that does mean he has to find that ground all over again. There are now 10 laps to go here at Sochi.
And Stu is 7.3 seconds behind Brown. And picks up a second penalty.
Meanwhile, Brandon is going to be thinking of going for a move on to Squiddy or reducing the gap. I was thinking of a move, but we found out that it was a bit too far back. Meanwhile, P1 O'Brien is still within 2/10 off of Aaron Dazzler. So then P1 O'Brien's going to go for attempt number 2. Goes on to the right side. Will go super wide. Both of them giving each other enough room. P1 O'Brien now overtakes Aaron Dazzler. Meanwhile, Brandon has got DRS off of Squiddy, going onto the right side. And makes it stick. Stu sets the fastest lap of 1:33.3. As David Squiddy gets another time penalty. And P1 O'Brien gets one. Oh, looks like there was a bit of a spin, but it looks like no spin at all. Aaron Dazzler.
Here's Harry Ham. It again. He's going into the pits. Not surprised.
Yes, a stop go.
I don't know why
Well, I would say
that penalty turned up, because he was going into the pits and he was in the pit lane.
yeah, I don't know, really. I don't know either.
But it's serving the penalty now. Not been great for Harry Ham at the moment. But you know, he's going to be getting lapped.
There you see Stewie in the background as Aaron Dazzler is going to be utilising the DRS again.
Now Stewie's got a back marker to contend with now.
does look like. But Stewie is closing that gap even more. Aaron Dazzler gets a little bit wide on the exit of the third to last corner. He's now struggling. Meanwhile, Stewie is hammering it. Aaron Dazzler goes wide on the exit of turn 5.
You can see that extra 2 laps that he's been on those tyres in brown. You can see that affected now.
Yep.
Next
Be in favour for P1R Brown though.
Especially towards his penalty. They've got Stewie right behind Aaron.
Now, Stewie utilising the DRS on Aaron Dazzler and also the tow. Oh, quite tight squeeze. Stewie backed off. Oh, a bit of a locket from Aaron Dazzler then. Lost him a lot of time. Lost him a quarter of a tenth. Those 2 corners alone. Now there's a 3-second mark. Meanwhile, Stewie. It looks like
He's absolutely on the charge now.
he's going to be using the tow. Going too wide. The Stewie goes round the outside.
Ooh! Lights up the wheels.
Slight bit of opposite lock. So Dazzler now tries to go for an approach, but nothing. And Harry Ham is now retired.
Retired on track.
Very, very unfortunate from Harry Ham.
Yeah.
I think the rest of his weekend here at Russia has just summed it up. The VSC is being called in. Could be a miracle for P1R Brown with 4 laps to go. I think for driver of the day it's going to be quite one-sided. I think P1R Brown, well, I wouldn't say I think, it's going to be P1R Brown. From starting in P9. Having outstanding battles between Stewie and Dazzler. And also the miraculous save at the start of Sector 3.
Yeah, I think P1R Brown should get it. Not just for starting ninth and from to first. We knew that was going to happen. It was just more the fact of battling with Stewie and Aaron. The amount of laps he did, and then being tagged at the rear and holding it.
Shows brilliant car control.
Yeah.
So I think that's the decision done then. But so for the driver of the day, it's going to be given to P1R Brown. Just for one reason only. It's just immense car control. And also battling with the likes of Stewie and Aaron Dazzler. As P1R Brown now starts lap 24 and 27 with 3 laps to go. And it does look like that Stewie and Dazzler are closing up.
Yeah, I don't think that VSC helped Brown at all.
I don't know, it doesn't look like it hasn't helped him one bit. It seemed to have helped Aaron Dazzler though, because it's cooled his tyres.
Aaron out a lot more.
Oh, but it looks like Aaron Dazzler's struggling again. So there's a yellow flag on the 3rd sector, and Squiddy gets another 3-second time penalty.
Not good.
I don't think Brandon's going to be happy with his performance here at Russia.
Yeah, I don't think his performance has been the greatest. But he's stuck it out and he's going to get some decent points out for his team.
He's going to be getting 12 points. So it is going to be a double points finish for Force India. I think despite that, I think Brandon was having some slight hiccups in qualifying as well. Aaron Dazzler's now dropped back off of Stewie. He's now 1.8 seconds. He's losing a 10th and a half a lap.
Yeah, I think his tyre temps have skyrocketed again. And the tyre wear's just slowly dropping off now. And I think the same with Stewie now, his tyres are just no longer have that performance.
Starting to give way now. Yeah, I think he pitted. I think one lap too soon. He's also starting to struggle with rear grip. As P1 Brown's going to be starting on his penultimate lap of lap 24 here at Russia. P1 Brown has done immensely well. Not only from obviously the position, of course, but also the way that he controlled his car throughout the stages of the race and also of the track. It's an incredible drive from P1 Brown.
Oh yes.
So now P1 Brown opened the gap between him and Stewie even more now. P1 Brown is now onto the last sector of lap 26. And he's now going to start on his final lap here at the Sochi Autodrome. I think whilst we're on the last lap, Chill, we'll talk about next week, which for GP1.1, which is Japan at the Suzuka International Circuit.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a good race.
I think it's going to be even. I think not only it's going to be a very good race to watch, but it could be a lot tighter again.
Yeah, it could be.
I think a make or break corner is obviously the S's in the first sector.
Yeah, our first sector. You can't exactly. You can carry the speed. It's kind of quite similar to Maggott and Beckett, but
yeah,
you've also got.
You can't. I don't think you can go flat out on the first part as much as Maggott and Beckett's.
No, it's not a slow speed, but you know, a gradual speed. And plus, Maggott and Beckett's is all flat. Where,
yes.
As we all know, Suzuka, you got the undulations of the terrain.
So there we go. P1 Brown wins the Russian Grand Prix with Aaron Dassler jumps to second. Just because due to the fact that Stewie got 2 penalties rather than 1. Meanwhile, Brandon only moving up 1 place. I think he's had a bit of a shaky session. But he'll take 12 points for Force India. Meanwhile, Squiddy will take 5th.
Yeah, I think Squiddy there will be very disappointed with his race.
I think he'll be happy that it's over. So we have it, P1 Brad. With another win under his belt. Brandon was the only one that did not get a penalty. So we will get the top 3 in for the interview. So P1R Brand with a very good strong performance here at the Sochi Autodrome. Gets the win for the Renault F1 team. Aaron Dazzler will take second place for Force Injured, even though he had a very good strong short qualifying with getting a 129.9 in the short qualifying session, with Stewie starting in P3. Despite of him not going up or down a place, he was being very consistent and very average. And then Brandon will take 4th from starting in 5th place. I think he'll be a little bit disappointed with the performance he has, but I think he'll be happy that he will be getting the 12 points. So we're now just waiting for Aaron Dazzler to join us. And I think whilst we're waiting, if you want chill, I'll let you start off the interview to P1R Brown.
Okay then. Well, as we could tell, bollocks, you just couldn't be bothered to qualify, saving your tyres for the race. And as we all expected, you just to fly up the field, but on the way you had some really good battles, especially with Aaron Dazzler and Stewie. It was good on our point, seeing especially you three all battling for those few laps. And we did see that little incident with Dazzler hitting or tapping the rear end of your car. But you held it and still finished strong.
But
Yeah.
anyway, congratulations to you, P1R Brown, on winning the Russian Grand Prix at Sochi. We'll go on to the interview now with Aaron Dazzler. I would say, Aaron Dazzler, that's you and possibly one of the best qualifying sessions that you've ever done. Getting, I think it was the only one in the 129s.
Well, I mean, it's like the only track you can use the fastest tyres. That's why it's probably my best qualifying. Probably first time I've been on the fastest tyres.
But it did appear that you had a game plan strategized at the start of the race. Oh, really?
I just joined and raced today. Didn't have a clue. Used my Monaco setup as always, God setup. Shocking.
I think there was at one point, I think it was in the opening 5 laps, you had optical G to try and overtake.
Yeah, but this game's broken. Every time I made an overtake today, it kept saying illegal. That's why earlier I had to let him past. Then later, when Stewie overtook me, I had to let Brown past. I let him past, it still came up. It came up that I got a penalty on my screen, but I didn't, because I checked at the end. I only had the 3 second that I got from cutting, so I don't really know what was wrong.
Oh. That's a bit odd. But
It's
do you
pretty
think you'll
eventful
be on the
race.
same mindset for Japan next week?
Japan, no.
Why not?
I don't know. Pretty shocking track, really, isn't it? Yeah, but that was that was against AOR Tier 1 drivers. In this, I'm racing GRL finest, mate. No chance. Nah,
Anyway,
Japan's shocking.
congratulations, Aaron, for taking P2 at the Russian Grand Prix.
Wait, you forgot something.
I'll hand it over to you again, Chill, for Stewie.
Hey,
We'll do a little bit of a
where's my driver
disclaimer.
of the day?
We'll be getting into that.
Obviously, it's me. Come on, pole to P2. I changed party mid-race. I had people walk into the room, start talking to me during the race. I let someone drive for one corner. I let him move my analog stick for one corner. It was an eventful race. Driver of the day, mate. Looking at it.
Pretty sure you're supposed to be the only person to be driving the Force India. Never mind. Anyway, we'll be going on to Stewie in P3. There is a little bit of a disclaimer that, obviously, for all the people that are watching, you won't be able to hear Stewie, so that means you'll be basically hearing silence when we are giving Stewie the questions. So I'll hand it over to you, Chill. Yeah, if you can, please. Aaron.
So, alright, go on.
Well, your qualifying, Stewie, as usual, pretty decent. Started on, well, not the slowest compound, but one of the slower ones. And start of the race, not too bad. Getting in a good few battles. And then your last charge on those hypers, I bet you was hoping to get a lot closer than you actually was at the end.
Right, so Streamy said he was on the fastest strategy. He bottled. He crashed with my teammate because he's terrible. He messed Brandon's race up. He's disqualified for Japan, but at least his tyre attempts were good.
Well, there's one way to translate driver.
And he did not get driver of the day.
But nonetheless, congratulations, Stewie, on taking P3. So now we're on to driver of the day.
Wait, you didn't ask him how he's going to do for
Go on
Japan?
then, Phil.
Oh yeah, well,
I'm joking, he'll be doing TSR.
Japan next week for you, Stewie. What do you think?
He thinks he'll have a great race in TSRL. That's what he said, viewers. He said he's going to get
Well, hopefully
stung
we'll
by
be seeing you
three, I'm
next.
sure.
Well, seeing you soon. But now we're going on to driver of the day. And sadly, Aaron, it's not you.
So, viewers, I got driver of the day. Thank you.
We are going to be giving it to P1R Brand, but not because of the obvious reason it went from P9 to P1. It was because... I'm not saying it's because of that.
I didn't get driver of the day in Italy either. And I went to the back of the grid twice and finished second.
I'm not saying it's because of that,
So,
Aaron. The reason why P1R Brand has got driver of the day is because of outstanding battles between you and Stewie, and also but had very good car control at the third, I think it was at the start of the third sector. Well, you have to be a little bit more challenging. Well, I wouldn't say a little bit more challenging to yourself, because otherwise it's going to be even more worse. Oh, Jesus. But anyway, obviously, congratulations to P1 Brown to get driver of the day. And I think that'll be it for the Russian Grand Prix for 1.1. As always, tomorrow will be GP3 and GP2 at the Sochi, and same for GP1 on Sunday. But for 1.1, tune in next week for the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. No, Suzuka. Suzuka International Circuit.
No, fair. It's not Zoo. It's Suzuka. It begins with an S, not a Z.
Okay, all right then. Suzuka. There.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll just say that then. Yeah, I know. Anyway, that's been it. Tune in next week for the Japanese Grand Prix. This has been It's for 17. Shush. But yeah, this has been It's for 17. I was with Chill. And we'll be seeing you next week for 1.1 for round 17.